So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Being Your Own CEO. This is a weekly success circle for solopreneurs. We get together because we enjoy each other's company and we like exchanging ideas and information and experimentation. And that seems to be what we're all up to these days. For me, it's about giving and receiving support. My name is Lowell Ann, and I've been in business since '96, helping people where they want to go. So it's a good idea just to remember that we have a few operating principles: relationships before business. You can get everything in life and business if you help enough other people get what they want. Business is built on relationships, so make building them your business. We stand for positive possibilities, and we keep an open mind, and we never sell anything we're not prepared to deliver impeccably. So we will begin as usual with some introductions. And I usually begin with the first person who was here, and that was Heidi. So how would you like to introduce yourself, Heidi?
Okay, yeah, I'm Heidi. I'm sitting here in Italy. It's already night. It seems to be over, but actually it's not. And let's say this today, I'm also a host of a guest house and of a retreat center. So if you want to come to Italy, you can stop by here. And then I'm doing live podcasts, The Wisdom Factory, and we're presently doing a series about conscious aging. As we don't get younger, we at least want to get older in a good way. So this is at the moment what I'm doing, and yeah, that's all. Very curious about all the possibilities, how to do broadcasts, how to do the things online. So that's why I'm here.
Right on, and welcome here. And I might say I have attended the first two sessions that Heidi and Mark have hosted in the Conscious Aging, and I actually sent a link out to the last one to numerous friends that I thought would find that conversation interesting. So
thank you. Thank you very much for every publicity. We are very, very, very grateful. As we want to get the message out. Just already, do you say the word? We don't get any money for it. It's not for, publicity for earning money. It is for getting the message out that we can see age in a different way and have many good guests who can talk about that.
Yes,
as well as you are.
The last one talked about possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy you're here, Heidi. We're all sharing. We've all been sharing how to. It's really now what we're up to is trying to figure out how to promote or advertise what we're doing, isn't it? Yeah. Using as many different platforms as we can. So I see Jabe dropped off. He must be having trouble again. So I think the next person here was Nathan. How would you like to introduce yourself?
That would be fine. Thank you, Lowell Ann. Yeah, my name is Nathan. I hail from Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico, and my business is Done For You Publishing, where I take authors authors from zero to fully published using the process of interviewing. And with the process I have in mind, it's about creating a business book, and it will take no more than 20 hours of your time. And I know that sounds like a bold claim, and it's also possible. So that's it.
Right on. So, and we might say Nathan's been doing a lot of Facebook Live presentations. So they keep popping up on my phone. So I know that you've been doing some. I watched a few, but you do one every single day, and I can't always go every single day. So
I don't expect you to. I just set myself a challenge is what it's about. And then also, I've been duplicating content because I've been going back and forth between Facebook Live and the YouTube Hangout thing. I haven't done one of those for a while. I need to do one today.
Right on. And let's see, Bill, I think you were the next one here.
Good morning. My name is Bill Graham, and like Heidi, I'm helping people that are aging explore their possibilities. One of those might be retiring to a warmer climate with a lower cost of living. And if Belize is a place that you might be interested in, I'm certainly willing to connect and share my experiences, or what I call the unbelievable truth, to help people make an informed decision.
Right on. Well, and you're also very involved with Roland, and we've all in this whole experimentation process. So you've been a major key in that as well. So.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be able to contribute to the community as a whole.
It's nice. So, Jay, I think you were next.
Hi, my name is Jay and my company is Magi Studios. We help people get started in the world of online marketing through coaching, teaching, consulting, all sorts of great goody stuff. I'm happy to be here currently in Victoria, British Columbia, and it is raining.
Yes, I do know it's raining. I've already had my walk this morning. So we needed umbrellas this morning. Yeah. It's welcome here, Jay. I see you're at home this morning, not the office.
It's a home day today.
Is it?
Looked outside. Yeah, I just didn't want to go outside. that 4-minute drive, so I just know.
Right. Okay. So if you see me looking over, there's some comments. So I guess Nathan, you sent something to Roland, I guess. Yeah. Those pop up every now and again, so I have to keep my eye on those as well. Thank God for 2 screens, I must say. So Alana, how are you? Is dinner ready yet? How would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Alana. I live in Ireland and I have 2 sites, Techie Travel Bits and Online Income and Resources. And Techie Travel Bits is more my passion for techie gadgets, and Online Income and Resources is promoting online marketing. And yes, I have something on the stove today, so I may pop out to make sure it's not burning, but I'm trying to stay ahead of the game today. And technical difficulties, my phone crashed today, so I had to go out and buy a new phone. Cold, and I have the heat turned on already, which is very unusual. So happy to be here.
Right on. We're happy to have you. Oh, there's Roland, just in time to introduce himself. I think he's not aware that he's here. Roland, would you like to introduce yourself? No, I guess not. So this morning we thought we would talk about social dashboards. And Nathan was, I don't know, we were in a conversation last week where he was talking about one. And I also remembered that Steve Dotto did one just recently where he spoke about Hootsuite and Agora Pulse. The latter I had never heard of before. Hootsuite is a company out of Vancouver, aren't they, Jay? I think, yeah. So those dashboards, and what did Steve say? He said that Hootsuite he found very useful for doing research, And Agora Pulse he found very useful for tracking comments. So going back to what we were talking about prior to starting the broadcast, trying to figure out how to stay on top of comments, maybe that Agora Pulse is a possibility. I don't think that it would work in real time, however. I think it's probably more after the fact. So there's another one that I'm aware of. It's called Friends Plus Me, and that sort of connects up with anything that you're doing on Google Plus, and it will post to whatever other social networks that you want it to do. And there's a free version for so many links, and then there's a premium version. So yeah. So before and Nathan did say he would spend a bit of time talking about this social oomph, but before we go there, I just wanted to throw it out to the group. Is anybody else using social dashboards, and if so, how do they work for you, and do they work well for you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Heidi.
Just wanted to say I'm using Friends Plus Me for 2 years, I think, and it seems to work well. So the only thing when you, for instance, they post my post to Facebook, then people who click on it, they have to double click on it. You know, when I post a post from my website on Google Plus, and they post it then on Facebook. So it's a little bit work, but normally it works fine. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's free.
Yes, for a number. Alana, what about you? You got your hand up.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that my experience with social dashboards recently has been social media in general, that each platform comes with its own strategy. So with Twitter, you might have, say, 6 posts in a day or 6 posts. And so that would be on one type of a dashboard, if you will. And same thing with, say, Facebook, Google Plus, and that sort of thing. Because you post to each of them at different times, and even that I'm creating different dashboards for all these different, because of the strategy involved in how often people look at them. So I'm probably reinventing the wheel. So I'm very interested today to see how others handle this.
Mm-hmm. So, and I might say it sounds like you listened to one of Jay's recent webinars. You're correct.
I did. It's on me, and I had to go back and listen to it the following online. And I found the spreadsheet very good, and I'm actually going to tweak it and kind of make it my own. But again, the graphic that was on that, and I copied and pasted that on my desktop as well. So I'm going to try to merge a couple of things together to make all that work.
Right.
It can enlighten us further.
Right. So for the benefit of those here that don't have access to Jay's wealthy affiliate training sessions, Jay, maybe you could just give a brief explanation of what we're talking about.
Yeah, every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, I broadcast live training sessions inside a membership site called Wealthy Affiliate, and each week it's a different topic. It's included within the premium membership, so we're never selling anything. It's just pure training. So last couple weeks we did a social media type of training where we talked about scheduling social media and just kind of using it in general, to the best possible use for you, And I'm actually really happy to hear Alana's not only using the social media calendar template that I have, that I shared, but making it our own. That was the one thing that I was really happy to hear, is that because, and I cannot stress this enough, you know, it's like, I'll make something for people and I'll you know, mold it to what works for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So it's really great to hear that you take that and you mold it into your own, you know. So, because I'm certainly not the Midas of internet marketing here, you know, so you don't have to just literally copy what I do. It's me just setting the path and then you guys taking it and running with it. So it's great to hear.
Yeah. And as a result of that session, I looked at mine and I just realized it's all over the map. So it's time for me to sit down and do something that's has a little more logic to it.
Yes. Well, I mean, another positive thing about having a schedule with social media is not only is it good for you to stay organized, but also people can then anticipate when messages come out. For example, I know every Monday I expect to see your Monday mindset, right? Your Monday mindset post. So yeah. if that came on Wednesday all of a sudden, like, you know, my world would crumble before me. But my point is that, you know, as long as if you schedule your stuff, then your audience will expect that. You know, so I think that's really good, because then it's like waiting for a package in the mail, you know. I mean, certainly that doesn't happen as often as it used to, you know, prior to the days of social media and email. But if you can anticipate something, it creates a little bit more hype. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, you make reference to the value of consistency. That's there's a value in well, I think, Nathan, you said that just before we went live too. Oh, I promised myself, I set a goal for myself. And that's kind of what I did. I said, I'm going to publish something every Monday. I'm going to call it that. And I mean, when you make that kind of a commitment, I mean, you're much more apt to do it. So.
Yeah, I'd set a 30-day challenge for myself, just to see what would happen. And I mean, in terms of the book publishing thing, what happened almost immediately within about 3 or 4 days of doing it is somebody contacted me and said, hey, I want you to be on my show. And we wound up doing a podcast. And then there was some other stuff that I was doing. And somebody else wrote to me, courtesy of what I've been doing with what I'm going to talk about this morning, and contacted me and said, hey, I want you to be on my podcast in January. And that's booked as well. So you just never know, but the consistency thing, as Jay was saying, and he's right. You do the consistent thing, and people start to expect it, and that's actually a good thing. Mm-hmm. Keeps you on your toes, among other things.
Yes, personally, yeah. Right on. Now, it looks like Roland has now got his system. We did invite you to introduce yourself, but you were busy configuring. So how would you like to say hello, Roland, before we go further? Oh, we can't hear you. It looks like he's having difficulty with his system in some way. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how important it is to have a strategy and to do things on a consistent way, and making use of various dashboards. I suppose we don't need to use a dashboard. We can go to each one individually or separately, but the more platforms you belong to, the more time consuming that becomes. So yeah, I think people do find it useful to see all the posts in one place, and to be able to publish all in one place as well. So we've mentioned a few. Has anybody used any others that that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yes.
one. There's one that I'm on. Sorry, Jay. There's another one that I've been a part of. It's called Social Quant. And I stumbled on this a while ago, and they have a 14-day challenge, which is free. And you take it and they teach you all sorts of stuff about Twitter in terms of building your audience. And it's part of the 14-day free trial. They clean up your Twitter account, and then they start building it over time with followers who match your keywords. And they have a keyword interface. I'm just going to share it real quick just so you can see what it looks like. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Then again, maybe not. Hold on a sec. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so anyway, this is the dashboard for Social Quant, and I started 51 days ago. And I started with something like 830 followers. I'm now up to almost 4,000. But these are the keywords that I've been choosing, the best converting keywords on the left and best converting keywords of all time. And it's been an interesting ride, I have to say. Not entirely sure where I'm going with it. A lot of experimentation going on. That's basically it.
Social Quant. Okay.
Social Quant, yeah, it's a 14-day free trial. And
it's specific to Twitter.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I'm astonished by how much I've learned about Twitter. I used to absolutely loathe Twitter prior to this, but I didn't know that you could use Twitter in so many different ways. It's just, I still have an awful lot to learn about it.
All right.
I'm nowhere nearly conversant in it in any way, but it certainly has helped my engagement, and people are writing to me about different things, and I wound up with a few consultations out of it. No closed sales as of yet, but definitely a bunch of consultations. And I guess that's just a time thing. I don't really know. I mean, Jay is probably better qualified in some ways to speak about that than I am.
So Jay, he's.
I don't know what he's
So
doing.
he was going to. He had. Jay, are you using any other dashboards that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like we've all tried a few different dashboards and had some frustrations, with it. So I decided to build my own. So yeah, I have my own social media dashboard. It's called Magi Social, and it ties in all the things that I want in a social media dashboard. So, ranging from scheduling, finding curated content, and so on and so forth. So I use that for my clients. So I just log into their particular dashboard, and I can post to multiple channels at the same time. And then there's analytics inside it and whatnot. So, it just works for me. So for myself, I primarily use Buffer because amongst all of the social media dashboards out there, I think the majority of the issue is that it posts to Facebook, Twitter, and all these different kind of social media dashboards. And then, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't do Google Plus. But some of them will do Google Plus, but you have to have a Buffer account. So, I mean, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So, well, and the reason why is because Buffer has what's called an API, which means like you can use their code, their source code, to integrate into your own tool. So, which is great, right? And that's why there's a bunch of tools that use Buffer's API so that they can use API or have Google Plus in their social media dashboard. But it's a bummer because you have to have a Buffer account, right? So, it's like,
Yeah.
so but I think amongst all of the tools out there, in terms of social media posting, I think Buffer works quite well. So it's affordable. Well, actually, It's affordable, and I mean, they have a free version, of course, for solopreneurs, and then they have different pricings for individuals. I think it starts at $14, $16, $17 a month or something like that. But then beyond that, it goes up, for more of a business thing. So,
Heidi has a question.
sure.
Go ahead, Heidi.
I seem to remember that Buffer didn't post plus only to pages. There was a problem. Or was it Hootsuite? I've forgotten. I then abandoned these things and went only with Friends Plus Me. Is this different? No.
With Buffer, in terms of you can't post to your personal. So yeah, exactly. That's again. There's always going to be an issue, right? So. Yeah, but I mean, it's these are primarily geared towards business elements. So and that's not to the fault of Buffer. It's actually to the fault of Google Plus, because they don't provide the code set, right?
And the other question is the two-step verification process you can have for a platform. I couldn't do any auto post from my website. I think I had next script or something, because with the two-step verification for Google, you couldn't auto post anymore to your account. Do you know anything about that, or Roland?
No, I haven't heard or experienced that kind of issue.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it might be a unique situation for you. So one last dashboard that I've been using. Actually, there's two other that I've been testing out. One is something called Promo Republic. It's a really cool social media dashboard. So yeah, it's great. I'll just go to promorepublic.com. It has a calendar, and it's actually a wonderful tool. It actually helps you. You can actually design posts right inside the app, and then send it out. So it's pretty awesome. Last one is, and it actually integrates into your own blog, and it's called CoSchedule. App Republic. I'll get you the address.
CoSchedule.
No, CoSchedule. CO schedule.
Yeah. Promo Republic. I think we were talking about that on in a hangout not long ago. I remember you mentioning that. Yeah. Right on.
This is it. Yeah. So it's great. It's wonderful. You can create these different, and again, you can do multiple posts and stuff like that. So multiple channels and stuff, but they don't do Google Plus yet.
That's one thing I've noticed, that there are a lot of things don't push to Google Plus, and lots of times I'll find something out there online, and there'll be an invitation to post whatever to whatever, and they usually don't have Google Plus there, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there are many options out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I guess it's just up to us all to do our own experimentation.
Yeah, I think it's you need to find what works for you. So I think the biggest caveat is Google Plus, unfortunately, but that's just the reality of it. So, but there are lots of different lots of different alternatives or workarounds, if you will. There's the system if then, or if this then that solution. But then it's just lemonades out of lemons, right? So
right.
Yeah. So but yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you have to find what works for you, right? So even if it ends up being a little bit of each different system, then so be it, right? As long as it's not, the whole intention of these tools is to help us be more efficient. Yes. But if you have so many tools to become more efficient, it actually, you know, it's
start
not really
going
working, right? It's like, well, I got to do this. I got to head over and turn on the flux capacitor so I can get Google Plus in there. And so, you know, it's just a bummer.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it does get to that point where you've got so many things, so many learning curves to handle it. As much as I love learning curves, I kind of prefer one at a time. So, okay, so we've got quite a list here, and the one that we were talking about the other day that Nathan knew about was called social oomph. So what can you tell us about social oomph, Nathan?
Well, I'm going to have to do a screen share in order to do that, but it's I was just checking it out as Jay was talking about to do with the whole Google Plus thing, and sure enough, it doesn't offer a connection to Google Plus. So that seems to be the big bugaboo, or what? I can't think of the right word. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll just share my screen. I'll just go through some of the things to do with social oomph, and you can try it out free for 7 days. And if you choose to go with it, it's like $12.58 every 2 weeks. God knows why they do it like that, but that's what they do. But it's free to try it out. And if you also use it in combination with the Social Quant 14-day free trial, they show you how to use it, or at least the basics of it. So I'll just sorry, I need to share my screen. So just bear with me a minute here. And I know that's going to go into the distance, so let me see if I can get there. Okay, so this is social oomph. What you want to do is you want to look at the different networks. So that's the very first thing you would want to do with this thing. And as you can see at the top, you can connect Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, RSS feed, blog, and Plurk, whatever that is. Never heard of it. And then in terms of managing the connected accounts, what's kind of interesting about it is on Facebook, you can link it to like your main newsfeed, but you can also link it to a page or any groups that you manage. And then as you can see, I've linked it to LinkedIn and also my Twitter account. Now, the reason that you would want to do that is you can set up these automated streams, these automated posting streams, but you wouldn't necessarily want it to post the same automation to each account. So each one is set up separately, so you can set up your own automated stream. And in terms of posting something like, okay, let me see. I've got what they call a Q reservoir. And a while ago, I wound up setting this one up on bullying. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do any more with it, except that the opportunity came for me to actually make a little bit of money from this. And I thought, well, you know, since there's that opportunity, I'd like to do that. And so in terms of updates, you notice here there are 31. And if I click on this, these are all the updates that are in that particular reservoir. And when you set up a reservoir, and let me just see here. I'm sometimes a bit hazy on the controls here, but yeah. So going back to the Q reservoir, if you click on edit, you can determine the posting time. So I've got like 31 posts in there, and you can publish updates and interview every 20 minutes or random intervals. You can set it to recycle the updates. So once something's posted, it goes straight back into the queue. You've got all these options to do with dates.
It seems like it's a really big learning curve there, Nathan. How long did it take for you to kind of get the handle of it?
It didn't take me all that long, and it's mostly because I wound up watching the tutorial to do with social oomph. There's a lot more to the learning curve with this thing than I would like, I have to admit, and I haven't gone into it as far as I could have. In terms of creating a new update, I just clicked on that. So you got a couple of options. You can post an update with text. You can do it with new image and text. And what they recommend with Social Quant is that for maximum impact with Twitter, to post an image with it. And what I've been doing is I've been making use of a program called Canva, which gives you a preset format that you can use for doing images. And then you can just look through stock photography like Pixabay. It is time consuming. It really is. But once you get it set up, then it just runs 24 hours a day without you needing to do anything, unless you decide that you want to change your posts.
So Nathan, I see there it says choose a file. So
Yeah,
you're putting a link, a link to maybe a blog post.
Yeah.
If there's a picture within that, wouldn't that be sufficient?
Apparently not, because if it's just a Twitter link, it's just going to show up as a text post within Twitter, and it's very easily missed. But if you stick an image into it, when it shows up in the Twitter feed, you're going to see not just the post, but the image as well. And it's even better if you put text into the image to do with what the topic is, and also if you put the URL to your site or wherever else you want people to go with it. This is all stuff I've been learning with Social Oomph, and also a friend of mine who's done a fair bit of this Twitter stuff. So there's a fair bit to it. There is a learning curve. There's no question about it. It takes time. So, but I just wanted to give you just a quick preview of what that is. There's more to it, and it takes a while to get the hang of it. I'm actually planning to go in there today because I've been updating my blog and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to set the links so they go back to my blog, because I've been just using links that will send them to my Twitter profile, but I'm not getting quite the engagement that I want. I want to see if I can improve it. And I don't know for sure if it will improve it. There's only one way to find out.
Experimentation.
You betcha. I've been doing tons of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the reason I asked that question about the picture is that when I post on Google Plus, when I post a link to something that's on my website, within your WordPress, there's a place to put a picture that goes with it. And it just shows up automatically without having to add another picture.
You know something? I know what you're talking about, and I don't know if that will work within Twitter or not. Maybe it does.
Yeah, it's a different size, different dimension, but it does. If you have a picture associated to a particular blog post, it works with, if you're using the Yoast SEO tool, or if you're using all-in-one SEO. So they both have kind of additional widgets, if you will, to make customizations. But yeah, it does work within Twitter. So
that's good.
And that's the nice thing about Yoast, is that you could, I'm not sure if that's what you were saying or not, Jay, but you can go into your Yoast and you can upload a picture size specifically for Facebook.
Correct. Yeah.
Specifically for Twitter.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know about that, because I knew that at least within WordPress, you would wind up loading an image at the bottom right there, but it was specific to WordPress, not anything else.
And that one ties. And that one ties into the theme. So that's called a featured image. So sometimes, exactly. But if the image isn't large enough, because there's certain set of dimensions that need to be for it to work. So if it's not large enough for Twitter or Facebook, it just won't show. It'll just find another image.
Well, in this particular case, what I've been doing is I've been using Canva and just going with the default size that they choose for, because the other part of it is Twitter has lifted the dimensions restriction, from what I understand. I've experimented with it, and all the images that I've been posting are showing up. Some of them, and what I've seen of other Twitter users, have been pretty big images, like long images that will show up in a feed. But the other bit that I was saying earlier is you want to post at least part of the message of what your post is, or sorry, your tweet is about, as well as a URL within the image.
Which is a nice advantage with that Yoast plugin for WordPress, is that you can design your message for Twitter, which is obviously going to be a lot shorter, being restricted to 140, well, probably more like 120 with a photo.
Yeah.
And you can create a little bit longer message for Facebook, and it'll share those out, which I have found in my experience, and maybe other people can correct me if I'm wrong here, that you have to be careful when you start sharing your content around, that you're not sharing or you're not duplicating content and getting slammed with double content slams from Google. So I find that if I can share out of my website, a share helps my website, and it doesn't go to the other platforms as double content. And I'm no guru in this stuff, so maybe other people in here could let me know if that's really true. And that's one of the problems that I found with using these dashboards, is that I think you have to take the time, and maybe even going back to what Lowell Ann said, learn one platform at a time, because every platform seems to have its own set of rules and regulations, picture sizes, what they consider dual content, and learn them one at a time, so that you're not actually hurting yourself by doing massive automated social sharing.
Yeah, that actually happened to me the other day with Social Oomph. I wound up getting a message to do with, it was a site that I was on, Graham Cluley out of England, to do with security. And I made a mistake when I was looking at my allowed programs in the Twitter feed, and one of them started automatically posting the stream that I'd set up for Twitter to Facebook, and you can imagine the mess I had on my hands. I had to spend a couple of hours going through deleting all the bloody messages. So yeah. Yeah, there are all sorts of things to consider, and it's not always easy or obvious.
So if I could shed some light on that duplicate content thing that Bill was mentioning. So duplicate content, you wouldn't, it actually doesn't apply to social media. So you can take content from your site verbatim and post it in Google plus Twitter, Facebook, and you would have, there would be no particular, there'd be no content penalty, duplicate content penalty. So duplicate content only resides if it's resides in Google. So if two sites have this exact same site or exact same content, you published it first, the person that published it second would most likely not get that post inside Google. So it's the kind of the first to market kind of situation. So but yeah, there's no duplicate content penalty when it applies to social media.
But again, that would only happen in a more or less in a copy and paste situation. I don't think that would happen if that other site shared your content, would it?
If that other site shared your content, no, there would be no, not at all.
Right.
Because the whole intention of social media is sharing content, whereas it's going to be shared more than once, right? So, and
that's one of the things that you use to build authority is.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Appreciate the clarification.
Yeah. So, Heidi.
I have a question, to Jay. I'm trying to post to Flipboard and to Medium my content of my websites, and I don't succeed because it just doesn't work. It seems to be from the affiliate because my sites are hosted there, and I already asked support. But apart from this, is this considered double content or not?
On Medium, and you said Flipboard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Flipboard, no. Medium, no. No, not at all.
Blended me, neither.
It's considered Medium and Flipboard are, well, Flipboard's like a magazine, right? But it doesn't get indexed in Google. Medium, some stuff does get indexed in Google, but it's not considered a duplicate content because it's more of a social media platform, if you will.
So I could, as it doesn't grab when I put in my URL, it doesn't succeed to go into my website and get it out. So I could also copy and paste without having fear that it goes into duplicate content.
No. At the very least, you get a good backlink going back to your own site.
Okay. Good, thank you.
So Alana had posted a question there. Is it possible to switch from all-in-one SEO to Yoast?
Absolutely.
Without any hiccups?
Absolutely. Both of them have export and import features. So,
but when you have the verification, Google verification and Bing and all this on SEO all-in-one, what happens to them?
well, you might just need to re-enter the code, but verification, like once it's verified, it's not always checking every single day. Once it's verified, if you lose that file or if you lose that code, it doesn't mean that your site's not going to get indexed or you lose access or anything like that. It'll just remind you. It'll just say, oh, we need to re-verify your site, right? But it doesn't happen all the time. So I've experienced that. And then when you go into Google Webmaster Tools or Search Console now, typically it'll send you an email saying, oh, your site isn't verified, or you'll see it right at the bottom of your list of URLs, assuming you have more than one website in Search Console. It'll be in the bottom, kind of grayed out, and then on the right it says verify.
But then you couldn't do it with a plugin SEO all-in-one. You need to do it differently, the re-verification.
Yeah, big deal, right? It takes 2 minutes though.
Yeah, it is. For me, it's not a big deal. I have a big problem. I have a VADA theme, and when you have a special theme, you cannot go into the HTML text.
Yes.
And I have no idea how to go there and how to do, for instance, the Facebook plugins and how to do that. And sometimes, these things like I could put in one site only in SEO all-in-one. So
yeah.
The Google code, I mean.
Well, my comment to that is that if your theme is restricting you from moving forward with your online business, then it's something that you might need to consider with getting a different theme. I understand Aveda is a very pretty theme. I've messed around with it for a little bit myself, but I find that it's just so elaborate that it just, it's too much. Mm-hmm. But if it's strangle holding you from progressing forward, then you need to think about. You know what I mean?
I think this is my stupidity because I'm not.
Because you're not the first person to say that. I've heard other people say that specifically with that particular theme. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So certainly not, Heidi. You're not it has nothing to do with your intelligence.
The other thing I wanted to ask, as we are talking about Yoast, there's only one keyword they allow you, no?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I have understood that you can use only one keyword for a post. And
I think if you get the updated version now, you can actually have multiple keywords. I just saw an announcement on that in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's actually.
But that's not with the free.
Yeah, sorry. Are you talking about Yoast, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do more than one. You can optimize for more than one keyword with Yoast right now. There's actually a little plus button, within the Yoast dashboard, like on a post. There should be a little plus button that you can kind of click, and it'll add a new little tab for a new keyword and whatnot.
Okay,
so,
I don't know.
I think that's only with the paid version, though, is it not, Jay?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I just subscribed to the paid version, so I don't know if it. I guess it doesn't have for the free one. So, but you want to be careful with that, and the reason why is if you aim for a single keyword per post or per page, what will happen is that one will rank, assuming you've done your due diligence and done your keyword research, and the keyword's attainable. But what happens is all these other keywords will kind of show up as a result of it, as a result of your content. These are called, in layman's terms, related keywords. The technical term is LSI, latent semantic indexing, which is basically related keywords. So it's so for example, if I say, like, if I write a post about business coach in Victoria, right, and that's the post title, and I mention professional LinkedIn coaching within the content a couple times, then I might get ranked for LinkedIn coach Victoria, BC. So it really relies on your content, but aim for a single keyword for your posts. I see this all the time where it's like, oh, well, I can rank for 4 or 5 different, I'm going to try to rank for all these different keywords. And then what happens is your content becomes diluted and you're more focused about ranking. You're more focused about getting Google to read your content than you are getting your audience to read your content. So,
Right.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think content is king. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're writing for the keywords, you're probably writing a lot of fluff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's another one of the things that Yoast will help you with on the WordPress site, and it helped me a lot. I mean, I'm not a professional writer, but it tells you if your sentences are set up properly. It tells you how many times you've used your keyword. Or I like to use keyword phrases that are similar to my title. For example, if I'm doing a post on the low cost of living in Belize, I might put low cost living in Belize as a phrase. But then you've got to remember to put that entire phrase in the post so that it looks comfortable.
Yeah.
The relevant a number of times. But that's one of the things that I really appreciated about Yoast was that it basically tells you how to compose a post properly.
Yeah, I found the same. It's yes, the Yoast likes it when the keyword is within the first paragraph.
Well, those are all search ranking things, so that yes, it'll tell you that you don't have an H2 header if you don't, and to put one there. And it should be in your first paragraph so that people know what you're talking about right away. And as close to the beginning of the first paragraph. It should be in there a certain percentage of times. And so all of that stuff for us people who don't understand SEO enough, I mean, it will give you the basics. And I found when I started following those rules that my rankings went up exponentially.
Yeah.
I think if you just focus on...
Could I just ask a question about Yoast? With a website where I switched from all-in-one SEO over to Yoast. I don't know what I did with Yoast, but somehow I messed it up, the configuration. So I switched back to the all-in-one SEO. But in the meantime, I lost all my words and tags and whatnot, and I had to go back in and re-tag in one of my posts. I'm going to take on this challenge.
So you lost just the tags, or so you had to
I lost the keywords, and when I switched from the all-in-one SEO over to Yoast, I lost all my keywords and all my tags, and I had to put them all back in.
Like your meta titles and your meta descriptions?
Everything. So then I messed up Yoast.
There's your problem. Yeah, because you had to export.
I need to export.
Yes.
Okay.
You can export the settings. And it's funny because usually what happens is, like, did you uninstall all-in-one SEO first and then installed Yoast, or did you, pardon? Yeah?
I installed all-in-one SEO first, and then I installed Yoast.
Again, there's the issue, because what happens is either one detects if it has the other one. It's like it's like Pepsi and Coke. They're in direct competition with each other, right? So next time, do a couple things. Export your settings with whichever one you're using. Do not uninstall All-in-One or Yoast or whatever it is that you're switching from. Install the other one, and what happens is it'll say, oh, we notice that you have All-in-One SEO, or oh, we notice you have Yoast. Do you want us to import those settings?
Okay, perfect. That's great.
Then it'll do that for you. So, but yeah, if you uninstall something, it doesn't remember it. It's like the Matrix. It just unplugs and you lose all those settings. So, I mean,
that's really useful information, Jay. Thank you very much for.
You're welcome.
For all of us.
Yeah, because that'd be a real drag if you have like 100 posts and just poof. Well, then what you do is
it was a definite drag.
Yeah, if this is recent and you haven't made any new posts, you could do a rollback on the server. You can request to roll back to a specific date before you did it all. So,
well, it's from, but I want to switch back to Yoast now that I know it has tools, but I will take care to export this time.
Yeah.
Right on.
Question: if you have a clone of your web, if you do regular backups, is these things, do they remain or go they away? The tags and the description and meta?
As long as the plugin's still installed when you have a clone of your site.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll stay.
Right on. So boy, oh boy, have we ever gone off topic here. Because I was, we're right at 10 o'clock. I was going to ask Jay if he would share his Magi social so everybody could see what it looks like. Is everybody able to stay on for a few minutes to see that?
I don't even know.
I would love to see that, and I was going to ask the same question, so that would be great.
Can someone confirm if my sound is on or not?
It is on now.
Yeah. I can hear you, Roland.
Yeah, I thought it was Barry. I thought Barry White came in. So, but yeah, it sounds great, Roland.
Yeah, we can hear you for sure now.
Would you like to introduce yourself at the end of the show, Roland?
Well, I think I'll just skip over that part for the day. I've made enough of an impression on everybody.
Oh dear. We all have technical issues periodically. I should tell you all when we stop broadcasting what my problem was last week. It took me a long time to figure out what the problem was. And as I was going through it, I was texting to Vivek. He must have been sitting back and laughing at all my machinations. Yeah. So Jay, are you there?
Well, what was the problem? What problem were you experiencing?
Oh, well, last week I was not able to get into my live event.
Oh, that's right.
It said the server has disabled this. Yes. And it took me a few hours actually to determine what it was. I did figure it out, but
you were trying to get into the wrong green room.
No.
I can't imagine what it was then.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Jay, there. You're on mute, Jay.
I am on mute. There we go.
There you go.
Right. Okay. So I'll just. So what you're actually looking at is my other tool called Magi Reputation, which we're slowly integrating Magi Social with Magi Reputation into one kind of dashboard. We have it where if you look at the top here, I can click on it and go to different tools, but we're trying to encompass it all into one tool, one dashboard. So things might look a little messy right now, and I actually don't have everything activated for this particular account. But basically, looking here, I'm able to connect a variety of different sources, including Google+, which I don't have on here. Another feature that we've added is adding employee Twitter accounts. So if you're kind of a larger scale business where you have employees, it would be good to have their employee Twitter accounts. Now, that doesn't mean that you need their username and password. You simply need to add your clients' their Twitter handler. Now, the reason why it's ideal to do that is, let's say they had a bad day at the office, right? And let's say like they go out onto Twitter sphere and said, "Oh man, today sucked. I hated being at work," right? So you can actually see if they mention your business or kind of do any kind of negative thing or even positive thing. So it's potential mitigation of any negative elements. So, and within each account, we have some real basic stats. So we could show like your growth pattern, and there's more elaborate reports in the report area. So each individual client of mine is able to access this, and they can go in and check out, their reviews. They can go and look at, their latest reviews and see where they stand when it comes to, where their reviews coming from. So we could see they just, 13 days ago received a review from someone on Google+. Here's one from Yelp, right? And what I can actually do inside here is I can actually go click respond, and I can respond right to the review right in this tool right away. And what that does is it'll actually post to Google+ for me, because we've integrated Google My Business into our system. So, and then you can also socially share these reviews. If you wanted to kind of see, okay, well, did I get any 1-star reviews, right? So you can kind of filter this stuff out, and you can see if you've got like, oh no, I got a 1-star review, 7 months ago and 21 days ago. We gotta fix that kind of thing. So, and what it does, so basically, it's an overall look at your performance. Okay, your performance through your search engines, review sites, directories, and then social sites. Okay, it's to ensure that you're connected with all of them, and then you can go into Magi Social and post content, post curated content, and whatnot. So in a nutshell, that's what the tool does. So and it really is, I'm just scratching the surface as to what it can do, but it's not a J pitch fest here today. So, but
Right.
it's what I would like to show you quickly is Promo Republic. So this is Promo Republic, and what Promo Republic does is, if you look at all like that's a lot of stuff there, right? You can see. So, for example, did you know this Friday is National Mutt Day?
No.
It's like, what? It's very true. But what this does is, if you look up here, I'll zoom in. You see, I've got trend, holiday, history, sports, and celebrity. So if you're ever stuck with like posting stuff, because it doesn't always need to be content that's related to your particular website, right? So these are different kind of things. Like tomorrow is the Rockefeller tree lighting thing in New York, right? So if your audience is a New York audience, you can kind of mention that, hey, did you know tomorrow's they're lighting the tree? So if I can actually click on that one,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has something already curated for me. And then if I wanted, I can then go ahead and add my logo or my client's logo.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I can go like this, pop it there. And then I can go preview it. Say, okay, and then I can add my message if I want to. The other cool thing is I can download the image right here. By pressing that, it will download this. So then you can use it for different systems kind of thing.
Now, is this, what does this cost?
You know what? I don't remember. I got it on a real special deal. I got a lifetime subscription to it for, I don't know, $49 or something. So it is a monthly subscription service. I do know that.
Right.
Yeah, so I got it on a like one of a deal a day type of site that I'm subscribed to.
So basically what it's, I think I understand what it does. It curates a whole lot of stuff for somebody who's looking for something to post that is not necessarily from their own website. Like it's a curation tool.
Yes, but it also gives you related content to your niche. So for example, if I go to this one, so a CAD company, and I click on post ideas right here.
Right.
It will find auto-related stuff because when you add a particular social media account, it says, all right, well, what's the industry, right? So then you can set up an industry, and then it shows this kind of related content. The other cool thing is that you can kind of set up a schedule. So for example, with this particular client, we post on Tuesday and Thursdays at 9 a.m., right? So I can go in and I can go and click on this. I can just kind of remove that, get rid of that. I can upload the client's logo if I wanted to. I won't bother. I'll just go preview. I can add some hashtags. I can go publish now or add to queue. I'm going to add to queue. There we go, done. So I can go view in calendar, and I can go and kind of get rid of all of these. So we can see this Thursday at 9:07 a.m. it's going to post that for me.
Right, and I see down the left you've got Facebook and Twitter.
Yep.
And does it do Google Plus?
No, not at this time. But talking to the developers, they are actually working on a solution for that in the next couple months. So,
wow.
Yep.
That's a nifty tool.
It's pretty fancy pants. Yep, absolutely.
And are they local business people or?
Nope, they are in Europe, Eastern Europe, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Somebody says, oh, it's $28 a month, Roland says. That is pretty pricey for a solopreneur.
Yeah. Alana's asking, will you be selling this product, Jay? Oh, it's not my product though. Or are you talking about Magi Social? Yeah. Primarily, it's just for people who sign on for my SEO package. But yes, it is something that I'm going to be looking at. I have a couple long-term solutions. Stage one is selling it as a solo solution for people. And then also having a co-branding system where you can resell it as your own with the only limitation that the URL doesn't change. So login.magistudios.com or social.magistudios.com retains, but you can change the logo and the colors.
Right. Right on. Well, it certainly is worth us all sort of thinking about how can we reduce the amount of time and increase our efficiency in terms of our social media. So a tool like that is bound to be useful.
Yeah, the Promo Republic, like the last couple of weeks I've been messing around with it. It's actually been really good because what I do is I'll spend an hour creating all of these different posts for clients, and then I've got the whole month set up.
Right.
And then done, right? So I think if you have if you're working with clients, or if you're posting on their behalf, that tool is completely worth it, that app, Promo Republic, because it gives great, like all sorts of great ideas, right? And you can implement your own logo and stuff like that. So,
right. So I see Bill was waving.
Yeah, I know we very seldom ever get off topic on this.
Have we ever got
circle? But I wanted to ask you a completely unrelated question, if you don't mind. Were you not having problems with your lower thirds? Because I see you have a lower third today, and I'm wondering what you did to solve your problem.
Are you speaking to me?
Yes. Yeah, you're the only one with a lower third.
Oh, I see that, right. Actually, it was kind of interesting when I went in when I opened up, it wasn't there. But then I went looking for it, and then I noticed that there was a funny looking something there, sort of a placeholder. And when I moused over it, it said Hangout Toolbox. So I clicked on it, and all of a sudden there it is. And I was able to go in and do it. No problem.
Okay. So it just came back, but you were having trouble with that for a while, were you not?
No, not me. I think it was Heidi.
Okay.
It was Heidi was having trouble with it.
And I know Roland was as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
It was a little odd, but I was able to make it work. So,
according to Andrew Hatchett, the Hangout Toolbox has malfunctioned reasonably permanently, and the people who lose it cannot regain it, and the ones who still have it, for whatever reason, can use it until they lose it. And we don't know what the criteria is for it to fall off the chart. But apparently, once the Hangout Toolbox dysfunctions completely, it's gone, and it's just a matter of when it steps over the line and whatever. But it's a technical thing. We're all going to lose it eventually, more than likely.
Oh.
Well, I think that was kind of speculative. That's why I was asking the question, because I thought Lowland was one of those people that were having problems with it. But anyway, sorry to get so far off topic. It's one of the things in Hangouts that's been a big issue lately.
Get a shirt with your logo on it.
Logo on it. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, I've noticed though that a lot of people are not using lower thirds. So, okay, I see we are way beyond our time. So I think it's time to wrap up today's conversation. And I'll do that with a reminder that you can come to my Being Your Own CEO community on Google Plus and join and post and find useful things there for solopreneurs, especially for solopreneurs. And I have a supports for solopreneurs collection as well. And of course, don't forget to visit lowaland.com. And I really do want to remind our watchers and viewers that everybody within the green room here has something valuable to offer. So please do get to know them and connect with them in whatever way you can. So this is Lowaland signing off for this week.